Okay, good morning and welcome to our Mindset Monday call. Today's call is going to be about boundaries and getting beyond the basics and digging a little bit deeper. We all are at a point, most of you ladies are at the point where a majority of people actually know the essentials of wellness. Okay, we know what eating healthy looks like or should look like. We've been told enough. And if many of you have been working with us for quite some time, you know what we tell you to eat, that protein is vitally important and carbs planned around your meals, you can still have them. And the importance of fiber and importance of good fat, especially in the menopause years. All of these are key essentials. We teach that to the core, right? And we have for quite a long time. We all know about exercise. We have a whole database on demand workouts. We know you need to strength train at least 3 times a week. That muscle is so important, and it is the fountain of youth, and it protects your bone health as we age, and again through menopause years. To protect that bone density is so important. And hydration, we drill it constantly. Drink your water, at least minimum 64 ounces, but the goal would be half your body weight in water, right? Take out my headphones. So we know those things, but there's often a deeper reason why we either stall or we're not seeing the results we want, or we're like, I know the things I'm supposed to do. And, and every coaching call you have or every day you're thinking, okay, all right, do better on my food. I need to watch what I'm eating. I need to exercise more. I need to do this. But sometimes we overlook a big cause, and it can be a lack of boundaries, because without boundaries, and I'm going to go into why setting boundaries are key, how to overcome guilt of setting boundaries with people, and then how to set them without the guilt, and then 4 steps to move forward. So we're going to address that all here. But a lack of boundaries, we may overextend ourselves without realizing it, or we are doing that. We prioritize others over our own needs, and then we experience guilt when we do that. If you think exercising for yourself, or if you're going to say just a minute, or I need to eat this, and people are like pressuring you to eat what they're eating, then you have that guilt that, people are talking about you, you want to do what they're doing, or you have an exercise session set up and they're like, well, we really want you to do this. And those types of things can cause some guilt in yourself, especially for those that are guided by, like, have faith, because we believe we want to serve others and we should do for others before ourselves. But there's a lot to that too. So I'm going to hit on the faith aspect as well. So let's explore why boundaries are critical for progress and well-being, and then how to set them, and set them without having any guilt in doing it, because I think that's a big key. So they are very important. The first reason that they're important is because they protect your time and energy. When you don't have boundaries, it's very easy to let others' needs consume your schedule, which is going to leave you very little time for yourself and for that self-care, which is your exercise, which is your meal prep. Meal prep is so important as well, right? And reflection. You need time to just sit with yourself and reflect about things in the day. So an example of that would be saying yes to every favor, that somebody asks you to do, is going to rob you of some valuable time to recharge. If you're constantly giving, Lisa spoke about it very well, about filling your cup. If you're emptying your cup with everybody else, when do you fill your cup? So setting a boundary is going to be key in helping you continually to be able to fill your cup, because we want to give. We want to give our time and our energy and our love and different things to other people and help and service to others, but you can't give from that empty cup. And then number 2 is boundaries allow you to honor your journey. So your health, your spiritual growth, all of those things are valuable. And boundaries are going to help you to commit to these priorities without feeling resentful. You don't want to resent somebody else for constantly giving. And then it's like, you don't want to blame them. So if you can think of boundaries as kind of guardrails for your well-being, and not barriers to relationships. So we don't want to bury and close people off, but we need a boundary to just safeguard. There's like safety guardrails, so you don't tip over. They're just kind of a reminder to, hey, right? It's a guideline for you. The third reason that it's key to set boundaries is it prevents burnout. So overcommitting to something or several people continually every day, right, is going to lead to stress, right? You're just going to have stress, and then you're going to have that guilt. And then when you have guilt and you're doing something out of guilt because now you know you really want to do this for yourself, but you have to do that, good, like that resentment comes in, and then then if you do this, you're going to feel guilty that you're not helping them, and then you're upset with yourself. Like all these things just start rambling. So that can manifest as like what can happen then when you have all that guilt and resentment and stress. What do? We emotionally eat. We're tired, fatigued, then you don't want to work out, you want to do the things, or you have self-doubt in yourself. So healthy boundaries are going to ensure that you are operating from a place of abundance. So you have enough to give and not of depletion. Okay. And then the fourth thing is it's going to empower others. And it really does. When you set boundaries, you're modeling that self-respect. And then you're teaching others to do the same, especially if you have people watching you. And this doesn't just mean little kids. This can be spouses. This can be adult children. This can be family. This can be whoever you are setting those boundaries with. They're going to be like, oh, if they constantly think they can always take and you'll always do for them, you start almost enabling them, and then they rely on you and they think you're just going to do it. And so at first, when you learn to start setting boundaries, they might be a little taken back, and they might get a little upset, and they might get mad at you, or they might be like, come on, or they might beg you, hold to your boundaries, set them and hold to them. But they're going to learn from that, because all of us should have boundaries. It is a good thing to do. But some of the times, especially if you have the Christian values, in one of my calls, I was talking about, like, you got to remember that even Jesus had his set boundaries. What did he do? He stepped away from busy crowds to pray and to recharge. That's in Mark 1:35. He did it too, right? So taking your care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. And who is our example? So Jesus is our example. So he did that as well. And boundaries also are honoring God's design. So by taking care of yourself, your physical and your mental well-being, we are honoring the body and the life that God gave us, right? We are the temple. So we need to make sure we take care of that. And guilt doesn't serve you any purpose. You have to reflect on whether guilt stems from unrealistic expectations or cultural pressures, right? Are you made to do it? Do you feel you have to do it? So I want to release you of that guilt from there, because boundaries are healthy. We were exampled them biblically, and we need to do it as well. So now, how do you set boundaries without guilt? Okay, Leslie, help me, because it's going to take a while for you to truly be able to do this. So some good examples of how to do this is be clear and honest. So you need to let people know, say, hey, I'm focusing on my health right now, so I cannot commit to this. You need to communicate with love and kindness, but with firmness. That's not being mean. That's not being cruel, that you're being honest. This is what I'm doing for me and why I need to do it. So I cannot commit to that right now or help you right now, because this is a priority for me. And do it in a nice way. And then start small. So you begin with one area. It's just like we talk about your fitness and health goals. When you set those kind of goals, you start with a small goal, and then we habit stack that on. You don't start with the big mighty goal of losing 100 pounds right off the get-go. You start with the first 2 pounds, and then you build on that. It's the same thing with setting boundaries. Start small. Begin with one area. Maybe block out like a 30-minute daily walk, or say no to an extra responsibility that you've been having, or delegate it to someone else. Delegation is also kind of part of a boundary. You can delegate things to other people. We talked about that in one of our small group coaching calls about delegation. It is a skill. It has to be learned, and it's okay to do. And then number 3 would be use the yes and response. So an example, I can't help this evening, but I'd be happy to support you in another way later. So you're saying no to something now, but you're then giving the option of saying, but I can do something. I can maybe do this for you, but I can't do that. So you're still in control. You're still setting your boundary. It's still within your boundary. You see how that plays out? And then the 4th thing is just reflect, right? Pray for the wisdom and the strength to set the boundaries that align with your values and your goals. Ask to do it in a kind way, and then just keep practicing it. It's going to take a while to learn how to do this, especially if you're a people pleaser, and you just know that we're supposed to treat everybody with kindness. This is treating people with kindness. Setting boundaries, it's just like children, ladies, right? Discipline. They need discipline. They crave discipline. And so when you give them discipline, you're not being mean. Are they going to like you all the time for it? No, but you're helping them. You're guiding them. You have to think of it the same way. You're showing others that you respect yourself enough that you have to set up these guardrails, and you have to set up this, these safety nets for you. They're going to learn to respect your boundaries. They're going to have more respect for you. And they're going to say, I need to learn to do that. So you're teaching people a lot by doing it for yourself. Kids need it. We need it. Everybody needs it, right? So the 4 steps and how to move forward with this, there's some ideas that you can have to move forward. Journal about, where you lack boundaries. I will be putting a PDF worksheet that goes with this talk in our media and our files tabs for you ladies. And I'll probably put it right underneath in the comments as well here for you too, so that you can take a look at that, print it off, and spend some time on it, and really dive down and do some thoughts about, think about, where do you say yes when you really want to say no? We all have them. Okay. Identify areas where boundary setting could really help reclaim some of that time and focus for you. Why don't you have time to meal prep? Why don't you have time to exercise? Right? You know these things that you need to do. That's why we're going beyond the things that you know, because you know what to do. Why aren't they getting done? And it's not just because you're lazy or you're not motivated or whatever. We're digging deeper today, right? Some of these things could be causing, not for everybody, but for some of you, not setting boundaries or taking a look at where you could get more time. If you had a lack, where you have lack of boundaries, where maybe you could pick up some more time to do the things that you need to focus on. And then 2, redefine success. What does true success mean to you? We always talk about that. What are your wins? What are the bigger wins? So it can include rest and self-care. It can include, now your goal could be, I'm going to set a boundary, because you know these things, water, exercise, nutrition. I need sleep, stress, boundaries, right? Start focusing on the deeper things to help you be able to accomplish the things that you know. So remind yourself that it's okay to let some things go. Some things just aren't important at that moment over your self-care. Practice self-compassion would be number 3. And we talk about this quite often as well. Recognizing that setting, these boundaries doesn't mean that you're neglecting other people. Don't think of it that way. It means that you're caring for yourself to serve them better. So when you take care of yourself and you're happy and you're in a good place and you feel good and you feel strong and you feel, when you drink your water, you feel better. When you eat healthy, you feel better. When you set those boundaries and you're like, oh, I have time to myself, I have time to reflect, you're able then to help them more. You're going to be able to give them so much more because your cup is overflowing now and you're able to give it to other people. And then the last thing of those 4 steps moving forward is to hold yourself accountable. Okay. Share your boundary goals with us, with someone you trust. If you are working with Lisa or I as a coach, share those, with one-on-ones, share those with us. Ask for that support, put it in the group, ask other people. This is my boundary situation with blah, 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 blah. Does anybody have any suggestions, or what has worked for you? Or what do you find has worked that maybe I could try? What this group is for. It's to be vulnerable. It's a private group. We're all women. We deal with the same kind of issues. Let's help each other. And some people are farther along in their journeys than other people are. And so other people are going to have better ideas to help you with that. So that's what your goal for this week is going to be. I just really want you guys to look at that worksheet that I'm going to put down here. Reflect on one boundary that you're going to set that's going to protect your time, your energy, and your health. I want you to write it down. I want you to take some time and pray over it. I don't want you to have that Christian guilt over doing something. Make sure that this is, a a goal that aligns with you in all areas, and then commit to it. Because remember that setting boundaries is not a selfish thing. It's sacred. You're honoring your unique journey that you guys are all on. You're all here for a reason, right? And we want you to really get full benefit out of it and do the whole mind, body, and soul thing. Like I said, you know what to eat, you know what to drink, you know, and move your body. But we really got to dive and dig deeper into what's causing you not to get those things done, right? Break through those stalls by protecting what truly matters. And that's you and your time and your energy and the unique gifts that you have to give to others. And when your cup is full and when you have set boundaries and when you are good with that and you have re-energized and recharged yourself, you're going to overflow to everybody else around you. And you're going to be able to give more. It's going to be a rough ride in the beginning because setting boundaries is extremely hard. I have read the Boundaries devotional book, I think 3 times, and I don't think I've made it all the way through yet because it is something that is so hard, especially to do with people that you love and care for, your friends, your family, those kind of things. It is super hard to set boundaries with those type of people. But when you really think of it as not selfish, it's truly what you need to do to be able to help them better. It'll benefit everybody in the end. All right, so you've got some work to do today. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, we dive deep into that mindset, ladies. You know what to do. You still need to do all the other things. I'm not saying ignore your nutrition, your protein, your water, your exercise, your strength training. I'm not saying to abandon that. Those are a given. Those are things we know. I'm really wanting you to dive a little bit deeper now into why am I not finding time to do this? Why am I so frustrated and upset that I couldn't get my workout in? Well, you didn't set a boundary earlier. You were committed to this. You overcommitted. You have an issue with a family member. Set boundaries. They're causing you stress. They're going to cause you not to get the things done for yourself. So spend some time, take a look at what areas in your life, if it's relational, if it's overcommitting to things, doing too many things in the week and running around all over the place, and you never have time to just sit and recharge. Think about what you can let go. Think about how you can restructure those things and how you can put them in set up your guardrails and set up your boundaries. All right. That is what I have for you, ladies. I will put the worksheet down for you guys. So print it off and take some time. And then please share with us, once you reflect and you do some work. If you want to share in the group, please go ahead and share. And let's see if we can help each other set those boundaries and grow and continue to grow in our health and wellness journey, because we're not just about what we eat, right? We're so much deeper than that. All right. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for joining me on the Mindless Mondays, because sometimes that's what it feels like, on our Mindset Monday call. And we will see you next week at the same time. All right. You guys have a blessed week and start off strong and set your boundaries. We'll see you.